Well, hello, and welcome to my studio, friends. I am so glad you are here with me. If you haven't already told us where you're watching from the chat, please go ahead. I see some great friends there. Welcome, Eva from Guelph. It's so good to have you. Some of my favorite people are in the house tonight. Paper Crafters Workshop. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, guys. Claudia, it's so fantastic. I completely agree with you. I haven't even been able to leave my blinds open when I do streaming yet because it's been so dark. It looks like it's a pitch black screen out there when it has been, but not tonight. We've got sunshine. So I'm leaving the curtains open, which may mean that I will absolutely have to change some of the incredible, incredible curtains and things like that as we're watching. But man, am I ever excited to have us all here this evening. We are going to start by setting our intention. Now, this is something that I started this year. I take a candle, I light the candle, and I just share what an intention I have for tonight's live stream is. And what I invite you to do at the same time is think about how you want to spend this next time. You are showing up to something that is full of creativity. And if nobody's given you permission today, I'm going to give you permission to create. So feel free to be relaxed and enjoy watching me do something. Or maybe you're working in your craft studio doing some stuff as well too. And if you are, I'd love to see those things on Instagram. So make sure that you copy or tag me on those. So here is my candle. I'm going to set the intention tonight. I'd like tonight to be full of creativity, of course, but full of joy as well. Joy that the day is longer and the winter is leaving. I don't know about you, but I spent every moment I could in between meetings today out on my balcony, having beautiful cups of tea with Fred and maybe a piece of banana bread too. I'm not going to lie. And I am so overjoyed with the beauty of the season. So it is absolutely great to be here with you this evening. This past weekend, I had a ton of fun at a wonderful card making crop with some incredible friends and some new friends to me who invited me into their world so that I could be part of their creative community. And I am so excited that they have also, in many parts, joined me in the creative card share that the Paper Crafters Workshop is hosting. So those ladies have been just wonderful and fantastic for us to be with. I can't wait for the other people who are in the creative card share to get to meet them through the Facebook group that we have. And tonight we are going to do something that I practiced while I was at my crop on the weekend. And it is a super cute little Lawn Fawn Pop-Up Platform. Okay, let me show you a picture of this first. So from Lawn Fawn themselves, here we go. In the center there, those little miceys are dancing around on a little pop-up platform. But see next to them, those little pandas, also Lawn Fawn. Oh my gosh, they are cute in spades. Well, let me tell you a really fun community story. So as I was prototyping these, I'm going to show you the die cuts. I'm going to make one. We're going to decorate two as we go through this evening. I was sitting next to my good friend, Margie, who she's kind of like a locker partner in high school. And she's my favorite locker partner ever because there's no high school drama. But Margie was working on the Lawn Fawn Pandas. Now, not a set that I own yet, but is as cute as can be. And one of the cool things about this Lawn Fawn Pop-Up platform is you can decorate it with any interchangeable little critters that you enjoy. So tonight we are going to start with what Margie stamped and cut out for me with her die cut from the Lawn Fawn set. We're going to take the little guys, we're going to decorate them up, and we're going to use Copics to do that. In the chat, let me know, are you a Copic fan? Are you a colorer? Because I will confess, I'm new to it. So I'm learning, and learning is living. So I'm so happy to be able to do that with you tonight. We're going to do some gentle coloring is what I would call it. There are some people out there who are magnificent at shading and multiple layers of cards and building a whole scene. I'm new, and okay, I love that. Sherry is saying my Copics would come with me to a deserted island. Well, then let me tell you, you would have loved being at our crop. Janet has a suitcase full. Look at Claudia, 368 Copics, 20 years of collecting. Okay, let me see. Can you see over here? These are mine so far. Claudia, you win. I think I have, I don't know, I'd say 30, 24, somewhere in that neighborhood, but I love them and I'm learning with them. They're a wonderful, originally intended, I think, for graphic artists to use, but oh my gosh, every card maker I have met who uses them is in love with them. So I have been convinced that we're going to do that. So tonight we're going to start with the cute, cute, cute pandas. And then, oh, Claudia, you totally have the suitcase too. I love it. And then, like I said, we're going to decorate one platform and we're going to make one platform. But let me show you this. See the bottom of this? I'm just going to pop that up and fold that down. What this does is fits inside a regular envelope. Now, it might not make complete sense yet, but trust me when I say it's an actual envelope card, and then the recipient gets it, pops it up, and it's a full little scene. So fingers crossed that I did my template correctly and that everything is good. The dies come with really simple pieces. I'll show you a couple of them here. So for example, this is what makes the platform piece. And then there's some different moving pieces. So on the complicated scale, I wouldn't say this is as detailed as Spellbinder's Dancing Fritz, which is the Nutcracker that I did that I loved so much at Christmas. This one is not quite as complicated from how many dies and little pieces come together, but it's a moving mechanism and action sort of thing. So it's new to me, friends. We're going to learn together tonight. I'm going to do, like I said, some Copic coloring. And then as well, let me just pull this and show you. The sets come with optional, additional kind of add-ons. So we're going to have a little bit of grass. We're going to have some tiny little sunshines and clouds to make a whole little scene here. So if all goes correctly, we should have two lovely cards to enjoy here. But let's go ahead and say good hello to my beloved. Where are we here, Fred? Let me just move this. There we are. Hey, Freddie, how are you? I'm so glad to see you here. Thanks for always being my support, my love. I see Suzanne has joined us here as well. And Fred, we spent a lot of time outside today, didn't we? Now, you were recently in Florida with the family and got a little bit of sunshine there yourself. So you weren't worried about burning, but I will admit, I feel like maybe I got a little extra of the sunshine. And a funny thing I think I noticed, my Tyra, you'll appreciate this. My perfume has an SPF in it as part of the underlie. And I, just before I went outside at one point, went with my perfume. I think I have little spots of where I had extra SPF from my perfume on it. But anyways, first world problems, right? Dan, I am so glad you're here. Janet, I was just talking, Janet, about how many Copic markers you have. Put it in the chat if you wouldn't mind, Janet, because Claudia is leading with 368. I think you guys might have the same suitcase even. So Freddie, thank you for being here as always. I'm glad to have you in the chat asking lots of questions tonight. And I think you had a pizza topping question, if I remember correctly. Go ahead, Fred. If you want to put the pizza topping question into the chat, you may. If he asks you about anchovies, I am not responsible. I am not responsible. Claudia, I would have loved to have seen you if you were there in person. My goodness, wouldn't that have been fun? But I appreciate you and everybody who has the courtesy to know if you're sick, stay home. So good girl. I appreciate that. Okay, let me get my next camera set up here. Pizza. Okay, so while we're going to be working on the little itty bitty pieces here as I'm coloring, which I'm going to do as sort of a quick, it's the same. So Janet and Claudia, you guys have the same. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start coloring with these things. Here is what I have learned so far works for me when it comes to using my Copics and coloring. I understand that there are mid-tones, dark tones, light tones, and I've sort of only got to the two-tone part of it. Oh, mushrooms on the pizza. This is going to be a good conversation. What I know about me so far, I'm not particularly good with fine motor skills. I mean, I have nice handwriting and I can do this. I'm not saying I can't, but I like to start with a light just in case I go a little crazy. I want to be able to kind of come back from it if I need to. So tonight's colors that I'm using, I'm going to blend a yellow green. So yellow green 61 and a green 46. And they are called something beautiful. Like, I can't read that. Pale moss and mistletoe. Okay, I've got both those names there. Wondering if I might need to grab my glasses, which are somewhere behind me, but that's okay. All right, so these are the pieces that I am going to use for both of the platforms. I'm going to do them up and then we'll decide what's going where. I'm going to start with this bamboo, these little pieces here. Now I'm doing this on my Misty because I have my waffle flower grip mat in my Misty. I wonder if I can pick up the corners. So you can see if I pick this up and shake it, these are all not adhered down, but just clinging nicely to this. So I have some good surface here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start with a nice light flick with this yellow green. And I'm just spreading that color down and getting it through. Now, while we're doing this part tonight, I know that when some YouTubers who are exceptionally wonderful colorers do this, they put on some music and you can just watch them to be zen. I'm suggesting that we just keep chatting in the chat. I like that we're talking. So far, we have pineapple and mushrooms. It's a very food-oriented group tonight because I said pizza to begin with, and pizza, I mean, it's a fan favorite, right? So let's keep talking in the chat while I do a little bit of coloring here. All I'm doing is really filling in the lines. This is not talented shading type stuff. Fred did say anchovies. This is just me learning and going and understanding how the ink flows from these beautiful markers and how I can get some nice effects with it. Now, there's a few things that I have done with Copics that are kind of bigger pieces that I'm learning more skills with. And I really appreciate being able to kind of try more shading, understanding where the light source is coming from. Our son Jeffrey is an incredible artist, and he actually inks comic books. Like, you know, he's the inker. That's what kind of artist he is, and does these incredible things with shading. So every now and then I have him come over and show me some extra tips on how an artist would approach something. I'm going for cute. I'm going for cute and colored. That's what I'm going for here. All right. So Fred, are you getting people on Team Anchovy? I don't know if you are. And Dan, you're home safe. You flew down to Orlando to be with the family. Oh my gosh. Dan, were you with Don when he got on the golf cart? Fred, how old is Don? He is like over 80 for sure, maybe even nearer to 90. And he was playing with the grandsons on the golf cart. 86. 86. That's right. You guys had his birthday there. I think he made pizza for his birthday. And you got to see one of the launches from Blue Origin as well, from the Space Coast there. But Don was on the racetrack. I'm telling you, those things like sit on the ground, right? They are not easy to get into and out to. And at 86 years of age, Don was right there behind the wheel, 5-point harnessed in and the whole bit. It was fabulous to see. Okay, so there I've gone and I put down just my green to start with. And as I clicked that shut, I'm just remembering these two little pandas up here. They also are holding some cute little bamboo. Now, I don't know if Sydney is here this evening, but Sydney is our beautiful, beloved little. And we, when she graduated from her vet tech program and started her career, took her to the San Diego Zoo, which has the beautiful Chinese pandas visiting the zoo right now, and as a special exhibit there. So we got to go see that. But how's this for small world? When she was in high school, we took her and Paulo, her brother, to the Toronto Zoo near where we are, and we got to see the same pandas. Now there's a few extras because they've been breeding them, but we got to see the same pandas. So here she is before she went to post-secondary and after she's graduated, seeing the beautiful pandas. And my gosh, it was wonderful. Okay, so now here we go. I've got the, what did I say this one was? Mistletoe in G46. And I'm just going in with some sort of light wispy pieces. I may end up just coloring this in again, friends, but I'm going to try and be a little arty and just go by a couple of the lines so it looks a bit like shading when I do it. Now, I will tell anybody who comes to my studio through my YouTube channel that they are completely welcome here, and all levels of crafters are absolutely welcome at my table. And I'm not the expert that people should be intensely following for tips and tricks. I am the adventurer who is willing to try and bring new ideas to you as I try. And I feel like there's space for all that kind of stuff. Somebody I am so inspired by is Kathy Zilski. I think everything she makes is really beautiful. There's some gorgeous, gorgeous people who do really impeccable work all the time. Me, I'm a little bit more on the wingnutty side, and I'm on the learning side. I've only been doing this for a short period of time. They've been doing this for decades. So what I am suggesting is that you and I get to know crafting together for the fun of it. So permission to create, that's my big thing. Okay, so I noticed when we were in San Diego looking at the pandas that their bamboo certainly had sort of different shades around kind of the knots, like the pieces that grow the extension. So what I'm doing is just trying to remember from my memory here how the darker parts were sort of around those join pieces. And the leaves were remarkably more dark than the stem of the bamboo. So I think that's right. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just keep trying. and we've got this. Okay, so we've had some pizza conversation. We're chit-chatting about my coloring skills. I'm curious, um, are we extra cheese people? Because you know what? I love me some extra cheese. In fact, a not uncommon order in our household is double cheese and double pepperoni. It's a little bit plain, but man, it is a little bit good. All right. So there we go. I'm just going to glance up at the chat as well too. It's always, always fascinating when I get looking down and you have to stare at the top of my head for a minute, how I miss things that are going on. But Suzanne, I agree with you. Art is totally subjective. And what one person loves does not have to be what everybody loves. All right, so I've got a little bit more of this green to do. Okay. I'm beginning to understand the idea. Ooh, shredded pepperoni, Claude. I love that idea. And I accept your invitation to come over next week for shredded pepperoni pizza. I think it's great. All right. So here I go. I've got the green. So my two little pandas. Now, pandas are black and white. So I'm not going to color them in. If I was particularly clever already at Copic coloring, I'd probably use some extremely light blues to do a little bit of shading work on the pandas. But pandas are black and white. I just saw them in person. And I'm going to leave these guys there because less is more. When you're learning, you don't have to be all the things and do all of the stuff. Editing yourself down and being okay with a couple of touches and a couple of pieces that impact you is perfectly enjoyable. So these are two little butterflies. These are two little, somebody tell me what these are? Ladybugs. And I am going to start with the butterflies. I'm going to do them in purple. So I've got a V4, which is a lilac. That's the chisel side. Hey, this was an interesting question at the crop this weekend. Basically, everybody said they never use their chisel tip. See how that tip is this shape? Now, the tip that I have been taught to use is this brush tip. You can replace these tips because these pens are an investment. So you want to make sure that they last for all of your artwork here. But I use this side. Does anybody use the chisel side? I'm curious what for, because I don't know anything about it yet. I haven't ventured out there. So Janet and Claudia, you guys are our resident 368 Copics over many years collectors. Do tell. Okay, so these two cards are not going to the same place. It does not matter if they are identical, but I'm a little bit extra, so I'm going to make them a bit different. So I took the lilac and put it in the top of this butterfly. I'm going to put it in the bottom of this butterfly. And then instead of trying to do any shading, I'm actually just using two colors. So this one, V9, I'm going to put in the bottom of this one. It's very dark, as you'll be able to see in just a second here. All right. And then I'm going to put it in the top of this one. Even though probably none of the same people, except all of you, will ever see these two little butterflies in the same place at once. There we go. Some beautiful purple. I will say this. Coloring with Copics is so relaxing. If you are having one of those days, I think you could take out a piece of scratch paper and just draw lines with them. They are fun. Okay, so let's see. Sherry's saying, I use a chisel tip for coloring large background areas. Oh, that's a great idea. Where I love it, where I want a firmer tip to make hair or fur. Okay, that is a great tip. I love that one. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so that's it for our little butterflies. Just a little kiss of color on them. Now, these gorgeous, cute, smiling little ladybugs, I'm just going in with pink for a couple reasons. One, I'm kind of terrified that my red is so dark that I will smudge the black ink. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen because I know that Margie used a really nice quality ink, I think a Versamark, as she stamped those. So I know she knows what she's doing. So I trust that. But I also feel like when I hold the red, I just tend to get everywhere with it. Does that happen to anybody else? So for me, I'm starting in with this pink and I'm getting that to go all over the nice area of the back of the ladybug. And now I'm bravely going to pick up my red and I'm just going to carefully touch along a little bit and make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. And I'm sort of dotting it along the bottom here. And I think it looks good and fine. So I'm gathering my ambition and my courage, and I'm just going to go over gently and carefully. And the thing about doing two of the same things at once is that I'm going to check if I like this one before I decide if I do the other one. Does that make sense? All right, so just a few more here. Okay. And I like it plenty. It's really, really cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and be brave, and I'm going to take my red. I probably could just smoosh this everywhere, but I'm a little intimidated about smooshing it everywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and go gently, because you know what? You can take it slow. It's only paper and it's your card. So do it the way that you want to do. So we have a couple little butterflies, a couple little ladybugs. And again, if I really knew what I was doing here, I could make the little faces with some extra, maybe do it in a little gray or some other color there. But less is more. When you don't know exactly what you're doing, it's okay to take it slow and learn, learn, learn. So now these are little envelopes, which I totally love, because in the Paper Crafters Workshop card share, we use an envelope with a heart on it to talk about our card shares. So I feel like this is very thematic for us, Sherry. There we go. Okay, so I've got a little bit of bamboo coloring done, some little bit of extra coloring done, my envelopes, and the two little pandas there. Now we do have other pandas we're going to come back to and use as well, but they're only the black and white pandas, so I'm leaving them there. When we get to it, we'll pull out our sunshine and some wonderful things like that. Steph, I am so glad you are here. Did Fred behave? Did you like having everybody come to you? What was it like to celebrate Grandpa's birthday at your house? I would love to hear Steph tell us in the chat how his first Florida visit, and your dad's. Shame on him for not getting to your house sooner. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm closing this up. I'm going to set it aside because that's the coloring that I wanted to do. There you go. Get some cute little closer pictures. We're going to come back and put these in when we decorate. Now we're going to switch over to the slightly less easy part. Okay, here we go. So remember I said we're making this pop-up platform. Here's the pop-up mechanism. Fits in a beautiful envelope when you're there. What I also have cut out for us is these backgrounds. So these are scored. They're going to go inside so that the card, again, let me show you a picture of it from Lawn Fawn so you can see. So see that background piece there that is kind of blue and speckled with the bee on it? That's the piece that I'm going to use as the background piece at the back of these. That's going in there. So I've got a couple of these different ones ready to go. But first off, we're going to build this little platform. Here's what it looks like on its side. The bottom of it, it's going to be two pieces, a little side over here, and these cute little T's are going in. Okay, so it folds back either way. That's the platform. So to do the platform, you're going to take the die and you're going to cut two identical pieces like this. So I cut both of them out because I didn't think I could be die cutting and get everything done tonight. So I cut both of them out. We've got two. And then this little T-bar piece here, you're going to cut three of those. So I have three of these. Now, when I first did this to set up for the weekend, I had a little YouTube video playing from Lawn Fawn when they launched this about this. I probably should have noticed when I saw that it was a 45-minute video of how to put this together. There may be a couple of steps involved, and there were, but they were lovely. It's all good. All right, so the two pieces. Now, they are scored on this dark color. I'm sorry, you're not going to see the scoring very well, but I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to go ahead and just fold on the score lines that I can see that are there. And you're going to have to trust me on these score lines actually existing. What they said, they do have amazing instructional videos. You are so right. Their videos are top notch, which makes it so easy to make the investment in something you haven't used before, because you can learn from them and go back and try it again and again and see what it is. I was basically sort of used the first 7 minutes of the video and sort of went back and forth as I built this up. It was great. Okay, so now I have just taken this and I have folded it all the way on the inside here. A couple more score lines. There's one here. So just going to bone fold that down to get it nice and crisp. This one here, same thing. And then this last little one, and frankly, I forget if it was a fold in or fold out, but I think everything was fold in. So this last little flap here, I'm going to do that. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm taking the same cutout, same thing. These are two mirror image pieces, and I am folding it up on the score lines and just giving it some nice crisping up, if you will, friends. And the crisping up is all going on the score lines towards the center or inside. So I'm kind of like, where's my hand here? Curling it up into itself on the score lines. All right, so here we go. And then on the top here, we're going to do that. So you can start to kind of imagine that this is going to come together as the little pop-up platform that I have built here in this kind of peachy color. And one thing that their video did that was so helpful was she had a green highlighter. She was building the platform in a tone kind of like this. And everywhere you need to put tape, she took a green highlighter and showed you where that tape goes. Let's see if I can remember where the tape goes. Okay, so first one was the T. Now these little T's, what they are going to become are the little pieces where we'll be able to adhere the scene pieces onto. So see that there where my grass is? So that is what's going to give me the opportunity to kind of glue it down on something and have it look like it's in the scene. Now, a cute thing in the way they've designed this is if I hold this flat like this, when you're looking at the card, you don't see these pieces. You only see them when I have it up like this. That means when I adhere this, the front look of this hides behind this little lip. It'll make sense, promise. Okay, so the first one is going, there's a little slit here. And let me just think for a minute if it goes this way or that way. Talk amongst yourselves while I just remember how we did this on Saturday. This one goes here. It's going this way, this way. No, it's got to be, just a minute. Let me think. I know how it got glued down. Glue, glue, glue. Oh, I know why I'm not really making sense. I missed one of the score lines. On the dark green, it's a little harder. Okay, Fred wants more food questions answered. Okay, you go, Fred. You tell us what you need to know. All right, so this one's going to go up like this. Do I have it right? I think I have it right, friends. 1, 2, and then 3. Feels very different than when I did it. This one goes to, okay, this one, I remember going to the first step here. Then this one goes to the second step. That's not doing it right. Okay, so I'm going to think to myself for a minute here what I have done wrong, because I wrote down the instructions and they go like this, they go like this, but that should go there. Why isn't it? Did I make up a score line? Maybe I did. Oh, this one goes here. There it is. Okay. All right. So, okay. So I've put the little T one in through here. Okay. And now what she said to do was make sure that you've got it pushed all the way up so that you are quite firmly against the top of the platform here. And now what you're going to do is take the tape. So I've got double-sided tape here. And you're just going to adhere the little T part onto the T. And we're going to make that the first adhered piece. Okay, so here we go. I think we might still have the heat on in the house, Fred. What do you think? Is that possible? It's possible. Because I just suddenly got warm, but it could be the stress of not remembering exactly how I'm supposed to do this. Okay, so first step is up to the halfway mark, she said. So this one to here. Now this is what is going to be the mechanism that makes it pop up. Okay, so got the first piece done. Next, I'm going to take the tape. And I just remembered something nice about her putting the tape on first. So we'll do that on the next side. So this piece here needs the tape. And when I get that tape down, I'm going to take the backside off. Oops. All right, so take that off. And now, let me make sure I get this right. I'm making the platform. This piece is coming up like this. Oh, yes, this one goes. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. I'm remembering, friends. I'm remembering. So folding that flat, getting that down. Let's see if I did it right. Okay. So if I did it right, woo, I did. So the little T-bar, see this one as the example, little T-bar, and the little platform is coming together. Now, I need to, so I'm going to know I have to put 2 pieces of tape here because basically the 2 pieces sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I won't take the back off of it until I'm ready to put the 2 sides together. So we're going to put 1, 2 on here. That's what's going to hold the 2 sides together. And then we're going to put a little piece of tape on this flap here and put this side, which this side is now ready to go. We're going to put that aside And we're going to do the same thing we just did. So let's improve upon what I just did the first time. So I'm going to improve upon that by putting the tape down first on both pieces. So the little flap here, we're going to put a piece of tape down there. Don't take the back off yet because that's not what we're using yet. We're going to take the T, put its little piece of tape on the bottom of its T here. Oh, and I feel like I was supposed to bend something. Oh, yes, that's right. So this gets bent this way. Okay. So, okay. So we've got the little slit here. Let me get that. And again, I'm going to go ahead and put the T all the way through, folding up on the first flap, holding that down. And now I'm going to take the piece off of the back of the T, fold that down. I'm going to take off the piece of the tape or the backing of the tape on the middle piece here, exposing the adhesive. And now I'm going to fold this one up all the way. I want to make sure I get it right. And that's going to go like this. Okay. So now I have this platform and this platform half ready to come together to marry and make a platform. At least I think I do. All right. Okay, 2 pieces to hold this part together, and then 1 piece on the flap to hold the whole thing together. Now, do I remember her telling me the flap needed? No, this is right. Flap needs to go here. Okay. Okay, so now this one had a whole different little life to it, and I can see that I have 3 pieces here, and I cannot remember how I got that other piece in. I just remember that she cut the little piece off at the bottom. I remember this because it needed to be shorter. And I can't for the life of me remember how she got that in there. Did she must have put it on one side only? Because this is what's happening, right? We're making this one. So this is going to go in there like that. I am not sure if this is the sanctioned Lawn Fawn way of doing this, but if I remember, we take a little piece of tape up the inside of the T, and maybe she was clever and did it both sides of it. So let's do that. I am freestyling right now because this is not actually coming to me the way that I thought it would. Okay, so I'm going to take that side off, and I'm just going to put it on one side to begin with. So all I'm doing here on this is taking this score line and my T-bar, holding that up against it. Oh, I have to take this tape backing off first, friends. So both sides of the T. Janet, thank you. You're a star. Go ahead. Feel free to teach me how to do it, my friend. Okay, so this one is going here, and voila. Okay, so now I have the 2 little T's, which should be correct. Now, let's go ahead. Janet, do you think I put these together first and then do the insides, or do I do the insides first? Let me see. I must have to do the edges. No, I remember she did them separately, right? We're about to learn. This is why I built one, so that we can at least decorate one totally correctly while I was off camera, my friends. Okay, so I'm taking this off. And what I'm going to do here with these 2 little platform pieces is kiss them together so I have 2 sides that become one platform. Here we go, friends. Ta-da! Give that a little smush so the adhesive. Oh, Janet, thank you. I'm right. Yay! Okay, so there we go. Now, look, we did it. Woo! It's going to be a platform. It worked. It worked. Okay, my friends. So now I'm going to take off this part of the adhesive, and I'm going to put this piece together, ready to go, just like that. That's one side. And Janet, I can imagine, as such an experienced card maker, you're just laughing at me right now. And you know what? I love you for it. I think it's great. Okay, there's the other side. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's see if it folds up. All right, it does. I pretty much think that I have done it correctly. I now have 2 little platforms. 2 little platforms that will become cards for us to do. Let me clear this off. Whoo! Check the chat. Thank you, Suzanne. I feel like when we cheer each other on, it is a great thing to be able to see how wonderful this community is. I love you guys all for it. That is incredible. Okay. Whew. All right. Now, going to put these two little guys aside, and I'm going to bring these two guys forward. So one of them, I wanted to put some cloud features onto. Now this was Tammy's idea and Margie, as we were kind of brainstorming nice ways to make the background look good. I have a tailored expression stencil strip here. It's got a couple different ideas of clouds or stencils of clouds, and they layer really nicely. But for simplicity tonight, what I'm going to do is just take a scrap piece of paper behind me and wait, I want to do this one. This one I'm going to put some stuff on. Okay, do this one. Woohoo! Okay, and I'm going to take a little brush here, and I've got two Gina K colors here, and I felt like the powder blue is going to be the one that I liked. Sherry, when I was in the store a couple weekends ago and picked up these new Gina K cubes, because it's a collection that I'm doing, kind of like my Copics, adding as I go, Matt was making fun of the fact that I had to look for specific colors. I made fun of him back, though, don't you worry. And I should have taken one of those big cookies he offered me, but I wasn't eating carbs. Okay, that's another story for another day. So here we go. This is a Pink Fresh, somebody call me this brush. It's like a makeup brush. And I'm just going to tap off a little bit here. And that might be too intense of the blue for what I was going for, but friends, we're here, we're learning, it's live. And what I'm going to do is my stencil, oops, let me come back into camera. Okay, so my stencil is across, and I'm just going to go lightly. I don't need a ton of color coming out on this. Lightly across my background here. Sort of what I'm doing is creating a little bit of the sky. Now watch for the magic moment here, friends. Ooh, see how I made clouds? Okay, let's do that same thing again, but let's just take it up to the top and just come across. I don't even need anything more on my brush. I've got enough ready to go. I'm just making sort of another layer. And are you ready for the big reveal? Here we go. Ooh. All right, so let's look at that a little closer. So now my background has, in just a couple quick sweeps, some sort of like nice cloud ways to be able to see the sky kind of forming behind where the pandas will be. So that's that one. Simple, easy, and fun. And that was the powder blue. I think I will use that color very regularly. It's a new one for me. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's put some things aside. Let's not get ink everywhere. Moving, moving, moving. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of sky on the back of this one. I haven't looked at how this adheres to the back. Let's pause for a second and see what I'm doing here. Bringing my platforms back. So this is also scored. I do know that. It follows the same score line as the platform shape. So see this? And it nests in here. So I must just need to like double-sided foam adhere that into the back. Look at how cute that already is. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So on the reverse side, which you could put a little white square to put your happy birthday sentiment or whatever you were doing, or you could just write on light colored cardstock. If you use a colored pen, you can do it on the dark colored cardstock. I'm leaving the back blank so that I could write on it if I wanted to. Now, if I was really thinking ahead and knew exactly who I was giving this to, I'd actually write my message now while it was still flat, but that's for another day, friends. Okay, so let's go ahead and use, Sherry, you know what yesterday you taught me? The millimeter sizes of these. So I remember this is 3 millimeters. I think the 1/4 inch is, could that be 5 millimeters? I don't know. All right, I'm just going to put this along the whole length of the back like this. So flattening it out right along the bottom. I'm just going to put the tape down. Here we go. We've got it going on. Take that background off and tucking it into my platform. Get one side first, secure that, and then get the other side. Just write your message on a small square and attach it when you're ready to send. This is why you're my friend, Sherry. This is why you're my friend. I love it. Thank you. Okay, so I just attached that. See, it's on the back there now. It's nicely adhered to it. And on the back, like Sherry said, I can put a little square right here, a rectangle right here with my message written on it before I adhere it, and away we go. So this is my, yes, here we go, 5 millimeter and 7 mil. Okay, they're on either side of the 1/4 inch mark. I love that. Okay, so we've got that one ready to go. Now on this one, let's go ahead and use some of the sun and clouds to make our own little scene. So I'm going to take a sun I'm going to take a little cloud. I think I have enough clouds to go around here. And there we go. How does that look? Like a nice little, oh, maybe the sun should go a bit more this way. There we go. How's that look? Nice. We've got that. Okay. So this could be liquid glue if you prefer using liquid glue. I've got my adhesive right here with my tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to err on the side of a little bit higher up than lower down because there's going to be lots of cool things with the pandas there. So I want to be able to have these kind of high in the sky, so to say. Does that make sense? Okay. So here we go with the next one. And hey, you know what? I don't know if my mom's here yet. Fred, have you seen my mom in the chat? She often says hello when she first gets here, but sometimes I had just talked to her before dinner and said, Mom, go outside and sit on the bench by the garden because it is stunningly beautiful out. Maybe she's still sitting on the bench by the garden instead of coming back in. Mom, if you're there, hello. Say something in the chat so we know you're there. If not, I'll call you later and find out if you came in. Now, on the little sunshine, I'm just going to use a pop-up dot so I have some nice dimension with that. And because these are a little bit small, I'm going to use 2. I'm allowed. They're mine. All right, taking that off. So now that is just going to add a little extra bling. Now, I don't know if you can tell. Let me hold this up to the camera. But yes, your girl, Sherry, with her extraness here, did use glitter paper for the little clouds and the little sun. And see how the sun has popped up a little bit just for a little bit extra. All right, so I hope I made Margie and Tammy proud with these choices. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold this along the score line as well. Same, and then flip it over for the, remind me again, 7mm. No, that's the little one, 7mm. Where'd it go? This one. Does anybody else lose crafting supplies right in front of them? I believe it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Now, if I had studied the video that Lawn Fawn put out, I might have actually seen if they had a specific order that they did things. Maybe these background pieces go on at the very end. Hey, I think it's working so far. We're just going to go with it, friends. Okay, so putting this along the bottom again. There we go. Simple, easy, fun. We've got that. Maybe what I should do is leave this one off and put it on at the end so we can tell if it was easier to put the little critters on when it has a back or when it doesn't have a back. Let's learn together. Agreed? Let's learn together. Okay, so now, where's our little beauties? Here they are. All right. I'll just get my tweezers to help me take off our little pandas and see where we're going to put them. So on this one here, let's see how I can show the camera and do this at the same time. See how they kind of can go, oh my goodness, it's going to be cute. So I think I'm just going to tape along the back. I'm going to figure out as we go. So I kind of want one panda. He's laying down a little bit lower, so I'm going to put him towards the front. Maybe this is his sister, and she's going to go a little bit towards the back. And then we're going to figure out some bamboo and some neat pieces like that. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to use this. Here we go. And I'm going to just go along, zoom, like that along the side. Take the little panda, and I will show you as soon as I have it down. There we go. So our first little panda is dreaming in the clouds right there. We've got that, right? Okay, next little panda. I said this was his sister. Okay, I'm going to put her in the background. So this is kind of like building a scene as we go. See how they're standing up there. She's now on the little piece that we had. Still folds down or up, whichever way you want to put it. So if you like it either way when it's going in the card, it can work either way. Now, I need to make sure they're well fed. So we're going to use some of the bamboo. And I think it would be really neat if I was very talented and knew exactly how to place this sort of in a really exceptional way. Maybe behind the panda. Yeah, let's go a little bit behind the panda. I'm going to do one there. So, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm taking the little piece. I'm going to go zoom down the center of it like that. Come behind this panda that's standing up. Hold it a little bit out from there. And hope oh, it worked. Look, there's a little bamboo behind the girl sister one. Okay, that's one. Now, let's take one of the shorter bamboos and see if I can put this what I'm hoping for is kind of diagonally across over here. The pandas actually played with the bamboo quite a bit when we were at the San Diego Zoo. So I'm going for that same sort of effect. So these leaves up here and the bottom of it down here are the 2 points of where it attaches. And bear with me for a second while I see if I can make this work. For the win! We got another little bamboo in there. Whee! Okay, now butterfly. I'm going to take this cute little butterfly, and because this one has clouds up in it already, I'm just going to put the butterfly up in the sky over here. Simple adhere that on the back, and butterfly on the sky. I'm going to reach for my sunshine over here. I'm going to get those dots again and make my sunshine stand out on the background. And then we're going to add a little bit of grass in the middle there. And I'm already seeing how I can make the next one. Oh, Janet, you are reading my mind. The grass. I totally forgot the grass, you guys. And we have it. So we are going to make sure that we get this up there. Don't you worry, Janet. You've got my back, sister, and I love you for it. Okay, so a little sunshine there. Now what she's talking about with the grass, look at how gorgeous these are. This little cutout, I've got a couple different colors for us to use and try. And also in the pack are these little hills, but I love the grass. I love a couple different colors of things. So let's try. I'm going to put one of the grasses right along the center one here, which just needs right along the bottom. And yes, I am gluing my desk tonight too. Usually I work on a mat, but it's reflective and it makes the lights in my studio not look very good on video. So instead of torturing you, I'm just going to do that this way, and I will clean that up thoroughly. Now on the next one, because here's the grass, see the grass in there. Because the panda is so darn cute, I don't want to put the grass all the way across the panda. I'm going to cut this in half and use a portion of it. You're allowed to. It's paper. Okay, so now I'm going to tape on the grass, going in on the side over here. And now we have some grass in a couple different colors. Let me bring that up close so you guys can see it. Some pandas, a little butterfly. I think we need to have a ladybug. And I bet you the ladybug would be just darling right on top of the grass over here. Let's try it. I'm trying desperately to keep the tape that's on my table over in one spot over here off camera. It's not my favorite thing to get tape on my table. Do you guys mind when you get glue on your fingers and tape on your table? It's like a pet peeve for me, and I do it all the time. Okay, so now here we are. We've got a sun, a butterfly, a gorgeous little ladybug, some beautiful little pandas. They are all super, super cute. And I have cut out a couple little pieces of decorative paper here that I'm going to go ahead and use. I need another one of the squares to decorate around the sides of the platform. All right, so quick tape here, 1, 2, and that's going here. Is this coming out cute or what, you guys? If you got this card, where would you put it? Would this be like on a kitchen counter? Would you put this on a mantle? Where would it sit in your home? Be careful as you answer because it might be coming to your home, right? Okay, a couple more pieces with this beautiful square. Here we go. Okay, and one more square on the other side. Now again, this is a nice surface that you could go ahead and do a sentiment on. That's also very cute. You could wrap a ribbon around this if you wanted to. There's some extra pieces. You could cut out bows for it. Just like I've done these sort of quilted in pieces just now, the extension set with this top frame has pieces. You could do decorative paper in the back there as well. So here is one little scene popped up, ready to go. Put the square on the back and you can write your sentiment there. And we have got a gorgeous little card. Tell me in the chat where you would put that in your house. And then we're going to go ahead and Janet, this time I'm going to use the grass first because I think what I'll be able to do is make my pandas stand up a little bit taller on that. See how he's kind of hidden down there a little bit? There's lots of different ways you can see it, but I'm going to put the grass on first. And I'm just going to go for the gold here, and I'm going to put grass on all three. The reason I'm going to do that is what I've discovered putting this one together is that I have sort of more space behind the grass than just the little T-bars. to work with. So let's do that real quick. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to start at the back here with this sort of mossy green color. And then I'm going to come into the center. I will save the hills for another little project. And look at this. I love you guys. It's adorable. Hey, Karen, it's so great to see you. My goodness, Karen, if you would, I would love for you to put your Instagram handle in the chat. If you guys are not following Karen, please do. She is so inspirational. The design she comes up with, better press, watercolor, wax seals, incredible. I love what she does. I am such a fan, Karen. It's so fun to be able to work with you and enjoy what you are doing to inspire other card makers as well. So feel free and put it in the chat. If not, everybody just Google Karen and you'll find her. Okay, so there's 2 of the grasses, and now I'm going to go ahead and put a third one in. And then we'll just move these aside for another project. Okay, a little more grass. There we go. And I'm just ready to rock here. Okay, so I've got 3 little scenes of grass. Remember, this one we're doing before I put this on the back of it to see if it's a little easier to put my guys all together there. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and see if the pandas, now if I put them a little higher, I think this might work. So I'm just going to take the bottom of, remember I said this was Sister Bear. Take the bottom of Sister Bear here. I'm going to put her standing up on the grass here. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. One little panda. Now, how about our little snoozy panda? Should we put the pandas next to each other on this card? We could do that, right? We can try that. Let's do it. Okay. Yay. That typed out funny. Karen Day. Okay, Karen, thank you for sharing that. You guys need to run, not walk, to follow her. It is a joy to be inspired by her. So I'm glad. And Suzanne, I'm glad to see that you're going to follow her as well. That's fantastic. Okay, we got 2 little pandas on the grass. Now let's go for our forest of, I have completely forgotten the name of this. What is this called? Somebody please put it in the chat. I'm going to put this one behind. So a little dab of glue will do right on the front of it, but put it behind, standing up. Now, again, with these ones, you could go ahead and cut that in half. Bamboo, thank you. How did that leave my brain? I'm telling you, when the lights and cameras and microphones are on, different things happen in your brain. Okay, so we've got a little bit of bamboo there. Let's go ahead and do another little bamboo. Kind of right up behind this panda. Okay, and this time I'm going to take the little ladybug and put it down in the grass. Okay, little ladybug on the grass. What I'm trying to do, you can see this way, is fill in some space. So see how the ladybug is in the center of the 2 bears. The bears are have the grasses and the bamboos behind them, so that it's creating kind of a scene coming together where we can see everybody. Now, I will tell you, I'm glad that Janet made me remember the grass, because I like this one. It's beautiful, but I do like how they're standing up a little taller on this grass. Now, let's go ahead and add our, well, let's put our butterfly in too. I think she's well deserving of a little spot here in the sky. So a little butterfly. And away we go with a little butterfly. Okay, got that. I'm going to take off the back. And I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Lay that flat and get that adhered nicely right in the card. And actually just give it a little squish. Okay, there we go. It's all nicely done. Okay, now on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add some of our embellishment pieces as well. So I've got, we can do the same with the nice little, that looks pretty, or I can use my little stripy stripes. That's also cute, but I think I cut the stripes a little bit crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and do the hearts just like the other one. Here we go. You can decorate it any way that you like. You can come up with, this is a great way to use up little pieces too, because these die cuts are quite small. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these cute little heart envelope sealed. All right, here we go. This one I'm going to just go all the way around on. On this one, you can see I only did the front of that. So we're going to put the square here, another rectangle here, and the last square on this side. So now I've, oops, hearts are upside down. This here. So now I've got sort of this embellishment all the way around. I get a white square to go on the back here. And I'm going to take these super cute little envelopes with the hearts. Give that a little bit and just put one right here and the other one right next to it because they are just too cute. Look at that. For little mail. Get this guy out of our way. All right, friends. Woo! We did it. We did it. So these pop-up platforms are so much fun to make. Oh my goodness, look at that little scene with the little clouds and the butterfly. And I think when you give somebody an interactive cart like that, oh my good gracious me, stop the presses. Kathy Zilski, you know I watch every one of your lives. I'm so honored you would be here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Somebody screenshot this while I fangirl on one of my most inspirational people here. It's so good, Kathy. I love to have you here. But these are just darling. And I'm telling you, the nice thing about investing in a set like the pop-up platform is simply that you can use what you have in your stash. Ha ha ha, look at Kathy. She says, I'm so cute. Kathy says, I'm cute, you guys. I love you. But when you get the base set like this, they bring out extension packs, which are lovely to do. But just like I sat down next to Margie at our crop the other day, she had this beautiful set with the pandas in it, not something that I own yet, but she was able to just give me a few of these from her. She made them for me right there, thanks to Janet saying, hey, Sherry, maybe you should do pandas. And so I just thank you guys for being community with me. I think that that is utterly amazing. Look at you, Kathy. I screenshotted it for you. So friends, what I'm saying is what you already have and what you can share with your friends in the community make the joy of creating that much more important. And for those of you who maybe don't know this about me, I am absolutely been a sales girl for 28 years, have loved being a sales leader for amazing organizations. And my superpower is kind of building community and relationships. But when I learned that if I took my passion of card making and allowed myself the time to do the creating with it and to be creative, it's actually a part of self-care. It's actually good for our brains, good for our well-being, amazing for our community, an incredible opportunity to be able to say, I am caring for myself by doing something that's creative. And the joy doesn't stop there because I'm telling you, when I give this to a friend and they see it, they are going to have joy every time they look at it. And I got to tell you, look at this. Kathy said they're adorable. So, friends, it is such an absolute pleasure and joy to create with you. Thank you for coming into my studio tonight. Thank you, Fred and Luigi, for keeping all the technical stuff going here. And I can't wait to create with you again. So remember, if nobody has given you permission yet, I will. You have permission to create and be great. Friends, I love you all. Thanks for being in my studio. We'll see you next Monday and watch for Thursday when I upload my uploaded videos that I do as well too. I can't wait to see you all again. Thanks, friends.